Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm a little bit late on today's video, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. This is BucketPonds, and my name is Terry. I am wearing a mask. It has nothing to do with COVID, and if that bothers you, please go cry in the corner while the rest of us enjoy the video. This video will be a little faster than most of my other stuff, so forgive me if I talk a little bit about the channel as we go. We're going to start a Creeping Jenny aquarium today, a nursery to grow this plant. And so we're starting off with our little turntable. Next up we have the jar that we're going to use. This is another one of those awesome cookie jars from the local dollar store. So far we've made 2 aquariums using this exact style of jar. One's a little smaller, but they're clearly from the same company. It's labeled as a cookie jar and it comes with a nice lid. They come with a nice wooden lid right there. Really appreciate these jars, and yeah, I'm not sure who makes them or whatever, but I'm getting them from the dollar store, and great price, great item, very effective. Next up, we're adding our potting soil, which is also from the dollar store. Just a cheap all-natural potting mix. And we're just going to sprinkle some. I don't want to do a whole lot in this aquarium because this is meant to grow Creeping Jenny. And because in my experience, the Creeping Jenny plants don't require an extreme amount of nutrition to at least survive and grow. And so all of my materials are either from Home Depot or the dollar store, anywhere like that. A lot of stuff I find and recycle. I capture most of my plants from the wild and, things like that. I bring them home, get them growing, so on. There we go. So we're going to apply some of my pool filter sand here. I don't think it's necessary in this situation to have a ton of soil. So we're just trying to cover that soil with the sand. Tank's rotating a little bit more than I'd exactly appreciate right now. I'm going for something a little different in this tank. I want the front to be almost bare, and that way the plants aren't tempted to root there so much, and they'll hopefully grow towards the back side of the tank when new stems are formed. Alright, there we go. You can see a clear separation between the potting soil and the sand. This is great. Next up, I will add some lava rock. That's L-A-V-A, rock, lava rock. And you've seen me set up 2 tanks now in the same method using very similar jars. In this case, I'm just adding the lava rock, for the bacteria to increase the surface area of the tank and give beneficial bacteria somewhere to grow. It might sound funny, but if you want to run a real aquarium, you need beneficial bacteria. Otherwise, you'll have a very hard time. I'm gonna pour down here in the front because I kept it very thin there. We're gonna get some more water, probably fresh water, right out of the well, and then we'll look at adding some samples from other aquariums. Ah, there's a little light. Yes. So this is a houseplant that I've succeeded with. You see my rather rough-looking Creeping Jenny specimen jar here, where I've had some clippings growing for a little while. I got this Creeping Jenny from Home Depot like 2 years ago, and yes, it was a good investment. It cost $4, and I still have it growing. The trick with buying plants is to carefully research them and to choose plants that work with your methods. I'm a very lazy aquarium keeper, and I'm not going to add fertilizers and things to these tanks. That's what the soil's for. That's what our creatures do. Our pets, our living animals and organisms in the water. So, I choose plants very carefully. I test them. Some plants don't work. A lot of plants don't work. Not for the way I do things. But Creeping Jenny does. You can see. Pretty nice Creeping Jenny stem there. This is actually Goldilocks Creeping Jenny, but indoors, without extreme light, she seems to go more of a green color. There we go. Now, in nature, a deer or something would walk by and kick the plant, and it would break into pieces. And it would spread. Creeping Jenny is very good at this. And in my tests, I had a 100% success rate on Creeping Jenny cuttings. At least 98%. This is a great plant. I want to have more of it, and I want to use it in more projects, more aquariums. Right now I don't have a whole lot left because I've neglected it. I haven't intentionally tried to grow it. So that's what this nursery is for. Yeah, I like to, when making cuttings with plants like this, especially my dayflower, this is Creeping Jenny, but I work a lot with dayflower. I like to rip the bottom couple leaves off of there and then just stick that right in the soil. It helps to have a good pair of tweezers and to be very patient. You see, I shake quite a bit when I'm doing things, but that's just probably because I drink energy drinks and lots of soda, which is not a great healthy lifestyle, I've heard. But you can spend your whole life being a health nut and get hit by a car, get stabbed, you know, things happen. So I'm going to enjoy my life. And we're just adding Creeping Jenny here. Right there, trying not to shake too much with our hands. You see I bury a stem, and I throw a little sand on top. This is a Creeping Jenny Walstad aquarium. But our focus is a little different here at BucketPonds. I like to build aquariums that anyone can afford, and to do projects that you could do at home and end up with like completely different results, different creatures, all sorts of different things that can happen just because of, you know, where you're located or where you took your samples from, or, you know, anything like that. I focus on the aspects of this jar aquarium hobby. I focus on it like anyone can do. You can build a tank like this for like $5, man. You know, if you don't have the plants already, you can buy some Creeping Jenny for like $5. And there you go. You know, Goldilocks Creeping Jenny from Home Depot. I've had it growing for years in my aquariums. And I had a little trouble trying to grow it with guppies. They kept eating it. This poor little piece here is just a stem. We're going to plant it anyway. I bet it'll grow. Here's a great little piece of Creeping Jenny. Looking good. This grew entirely underwater, and I'm just going to let her float. This one has crazy roots all over it. I'm going to plant it behind the lava rock. Here's a little duckweed taken from an aquarium that you'll never see. For real though, yeah. Just one of my little projects that I run for myself. Oh, we had a floater here. There we go. I think we got a good vibe going already. And we're actually going to take this floating plant and just tuck her over there into the sand. There we go. All right. I'm actually going to add just a little pinch of sand around the plants to help weigh them down a little bit. There we go. This time we have a scoop of stuff from the farm tank. That's where I grow most of my Nutella. Sometimes duckweed can stick to you a little bit, but if you kind of shake your finger a little, it'll take off. With duckweed, a little is a lot for a jar aquarium, and it'll probably replicate and spread across the top of the tank. Some of the duckweed that I used here was harvested from a small jar aquarium, and the rest was taken from my farm aquarium where we grow the Nutella macroalgae. Now, hopefully, no macroalgae got into here. That stuff is very fertile and very powerful once it gets established. Odds are some of it did get in here, but that's okay. We'll worry about that later. We'll control it and work with it. This Creeping Jenny happened to grow in a tank that has Nutella in it, so should be fine. Now I'm adding a couple snails. Hopefully he didn't get too scared being moved around like that. I try not to handle them. Generally, you don't want to like touch your snails or pick them up. They're not that kind of pet. All right, there's the last of our snails that we're adding here. Say they will be a little stunned. I hope they're okay. We'll watch them for a minute while I prepare the rest of the aquarium. Is is to add some duckweed from my hot tank. Yeah, that's another little aquarium that we don't show too much on here. Oh, I might have disturbed some creeping Jenny, but it's okay. All right, now the last step for this project is to add water samples from other aquariums where snails live. But this will add beneficial bacteria from other aquariums, as well as encouraging the snails to breed as they detect the scent of others. I don't know how it works, but it happens. And yes, of course, there will be some small creatures that make it in here as well, such as paramecium, planaria, and others. So there she is, guys. Creeping Jenny, Walstad Aquarium, aquatic nursery. We got our snails in here. Some pond snails and some bladder snails. I figure if I can't get one or the other, I'm going to go ahead and just have both. Why not? So yeah, you know, I've stopped trying to isolate the different snail species, and screw it, I'm throwing them in there. We're probably going to see a wave of paramecium happen. That's fine. I actually have some clips for another video coming out. Just for fun, a little mini update on the moss aquarium that we built last week. The tank might look a little rough in this lighting, but who cares? I'm happy to have made it. I have a beautiful Walstad style aquarium, a nursery to raise Creeping Jenny. You might see some little pieces of material up here. This is mostly from the potting soil, and it's just perlite, harmless, totally nothing to worry about. I'll fish it out of there later. But it is Friday, and I have to get this video edited and uploaded very quickly. I wanted to document the build and to continue our methods. If you want to argue and fight, like, go find somebody else to talk to online. We're just here to have fun. We talk snails, we talk plants. I do wear a mask here and there. I do it for fun, for attention, to express myself. Keep your politics, keep all political chat off of BucketPonds. You know, we're not into that. We're into this. You'll see all this duckweed as it grows and replicates. I won't do too many updates, but yeah, I'll make an update here and there. I can see a little Nutella there in the middle, but that's fine. I really love these jars. These cookie jars are really great, and I hope that I can still find them. The store only has like 2 on the shelf at a time. I buy them. I pray that they have some more. It's working out well so far. It's a $5 cookie jar with pool filter sand from Home Depot. Quikrete, good stuff. We've got our dirt section, all natural potting mix from the dollar store. Great stuff, really cheap. Our plants also came from Home Depot originally, but I've been growing them at home for years. But yeah, you can get some Creeping Jenny at your local hardware store, home improvement store, probably Walmart. Pretty cheap, good plant, great to have. And if you're into this hobby, if you're trying to do this stuff, well, there's a tutorial. There you go. Anyway, this is BucketPonds. My name's Terry. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Really blown away, guys. We're at like coming up on 300 subscribers. It's amazing. I never anticipated it. Thank you so much. In the future, as we grow, we'll be able to do polls and other cool like short stories and stuff. And I look forward to sharing that with you. And when YouTube finally lets us do some polls, I can just ask you, hey, what kind of tank should we make? What do you want to see? And go from there. You know what I mean? I want to increase the participation between us. And to the people that have been here since the beginning, there's quite a few of you actually. You guys are great. I appreciate you. You've kept me going. And I'm happy to, make these tanks and share them with you. So my name's Terry. This is BucketPonds. I'm just a weirdo wearing a mask making aquariums. I breed tons of snails. I like to grow plants. I have probably a couple hundred snails by now. Like 30 aquariums in these jars. A couple big aquariums too. But if you're like me, if you love this stuff, if you just like watching it, you probably like my channel. So check my other stuff. And I'll see you later, guys. Happy aquariums. Enjoy your jars.